Okay, we've got his head pretty well finished, and now we're going to start on the body. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring this down a little bit, just a tad, and bring this up a little bit here. What you want to do is you want to mark off his feet first here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go across, and we're going to chop this out a little bit here. Alright, and we're going to do the same thing over here. Go right where the top of the hoof is going to be and just start chopping away. Alright, and we're going to actually follow this up and around the hoof. Alright, now really actually chop that out. And we're going to go down a little bit at an angle there. You see where I have that drawn. Alright. And we'll worry about actually putting that hoof in there a little bit later. We just want to try to get this all cut out first. Actually, this is very similar to what we did with the donkey. Alright. Also, we're going to take his feet out here a little bit, so let's follow this out a little bit as well. Cut this out. And of course it's kind of like a triangular cut there. Alright, and the same thing over here. We're going to try to cut this down straight through. Okay, we're going to cut it down. We're not cutting it this way, we're cutting it across this way here. Alright, see the angle? Okay. And again, we're going to cut that in a little deeper, and we're going to take this out. There we go. He's going to be a little longer, a little more slender than the donkey. Really, you can do any animal this way. We're going to sweep this tail down and around a little bit. And we're going to make it a little bit deeper right there above the tail. And we're going to scoop that out. Let me get rid of these. I have little magnifiers on. They were in the way here. Alright, so we don't want to do too much there, but we can trim this up just a little bit more. Their necks are really kind of long. Get his shoulder in there. Alright. Alright, so he's coming along alright. Alright, so, and again we're going to cut it inward, just like we did with the hoof. And an angle. Cut that out. Same thing over here, we're going to cut this at an angle a little bit and chop that out. Alright, and we're going to kind of follow this out a little bit. Now his tail, it has to come out there a little bit, so we'll give him a short little tail. They definitely have tails. And they use that tail a lot to swat the flies in the summer. And then of course I'm going to put a little bit of a hip here and right above the hoof there. Come up a little bit. And the same thing over here, kind of the corner of the hoof, I'm going to come up. Whoops, that's a little bit too high, so let's this one a little bit lower. Alright, good. Bring this up a little higher. Alright. Bring this down a little bit lower. Kind of make it then match. There we go. And then this is going to come down a little bit yet. Both sides. Alright. If you want to make them a little bit stubbier and a little fuller, you can use a wider block and do the same thing I'm doing now. Okay, so right here we need to put the hoofs in, so let's start chopping the center out right up to about there. Okay, we're going to go one side and the other side. Alright, do it again. Actually, we're going to put where the hoofs are going to start coming out of, so we're going to put those a little higher. This is a good way to and I'll tell you, if you ever get stepped on by one of these on your feet, you'll definitely know it. When we used to ship out calves that were 500, 600 pounds, or steers, you certainly didn't want them stepping on you or kicking you. That was definitely would ruin your day, guaranteed. Okay, so we have it pretty well figured out. We just have to figure out where the tail's going to go here a little bit. Let's bring this down just a tad. It's kind of a slender cow. Cows aren't fat, so to speak. They're big, but they're not technically fat. Only the ones like the steers that they use for meat are usually fattened up pretty good, but cows are usually not that way. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and keep going here a little bit, and I'm going to work on the hoofs a little bit more, and then I'll show you how to finish all those. Well, let's do this. Let's bring this down, because they definitely have this front part on their underneath their neck, so we're going to make that more prominent and make his hoofs stand out more. Okay, and we'll be back to finish that up.